is going to be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there.
Let's take a closer look at tonight's opponent. It is the Cincinnati Bearcats. Pleased to be joined by the beat writer from the Cincinnati Enquirer. His name is Scott Springer. And Scott, the big question everyone is asking tonight, we saw that Kerr Kriisa is probable for the game on the injury report that came out on Tuesday. Is that likely a fair assessment? Are we going to see Kerr Kriisa play in this game tonight for the Cincinnati Bearcats?
Well, I don't know definitively, but I think they had pinpointed this game, and probably Kerr did because of his time in Arizona and all that, and they could use him. He's been out since the Houston game. He hit a big three-pointer against Houston. Just before he hit that shot, he'd injured his shoulder and went out holding his left shoulder, non-shooting shoulder. Came back in, hit the big three, then had to go right back out, and hasn't played since. And they've done okay without him, but for a while there, they kind of liked the offense running with James and Day Thomas, three-guard set there, and they liked the movement and the stats they were getting from that. So they would like to have him back. Obviously, he's another three-point shooter. Obviously, fans out here know that a shooter has to shoot.
No question about that. What was the attraction, I guess, when Wes was in the portal and he saw that Kriisa was available? What did he like? What did he say that was the reason it was a good fit for both the program and for Kerr?
Well, I think with what you're seeing in football and basketball, you're seeing that teams that are a little bit older are faring a little bit better. You have experienced guys. I mean, heck, now teams are, I don't know what the rules are anymore, but, Kerr's 25, I believe. And I think there's even an outside possibility that he may seek another year, right? There's some loophole they were looking at, I think, way back into his first year at Arizona. And if he can get it, he'd be interested. Now, does that mean he stays at Cincinnati? Why not? It beats working. If you can shoot the ball a little bit and you're 25, it's better than, toting a lunchbox to work. So fire up the threes, take your check. But he's a lot of fun. He's a great interview. He seems to be enthusiastic. And, they certainly could use another shooter. And they have another big man on the bench that hasn't played yet at all. He's had an injury, so I don't know what his situation is. Jalen Haynes, right now, I think they're trying to determine medical red shirt or will he get another year. But they've never played the whole season or any game of the season with the entire roster they thought they would have had. Now, I know a lot of teams have injuries, so not an excuse, but it's just the fact they haven't had a 100% roster that they recruited.
We're chatting with the beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer, covers the UC Bearcats. His name is Scott Springer. It is your scouting report, and it's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. Another key transfer out of the portal that the Bearcats added in conference, Jalen Celestine came over from Baylor. What was the expectation of the addition of Celestine, and how has that expectation been met to this point, through 18 games?
Well, another veteran guy that adds experience and know-how in tough situations. I think he's just a month younger than Kerr, and Celestine can really shoot it. You feel really confident when he gets the ball, and if he's got an open look, he's pretty good at knocking him down. The issue they've had with him is the fact that he had a back issue over the summer and was held out of practice. And, he's back and forth. I don't want to say that a 24, 25-year-old guy is old because I don't know what that makes me. But yeah, he's wearing like an ice pack and stuff. And kind of like the guys at the YMCA do, before they play. But once he gets out there, he can knock down shots. So he's added some veteran experience there. I think the issue is just trying to keep him on the floor.
Yeah, and talk about maybe even like getting a mid-year like transfer, the return of Jizzle James to the lineup. He's averaging 11 points since his return. How big has that been for this team to get him back in there?
Real big. They've played a lot better since he got back. They were surprisingly good, and he was surprisingly good in his first game back after the layoff. And he just adds another dimension, another scorer. He's got a lot of experience. He was last year's leading scorer. So assuming he's about to get his sea legs all the way back here basketball-wise, and just another veteran guy. Last game against Iowa State, I think he played 35, 36 minutes, only one turnover, and that's crucial in the Big 12 too. So the league is just crazy any night. I watched Kansas, Colorado last night when I got into town, and the Buffaloes, they're better. They had a chance to beat Kansas, and you never know on any given night. Other than Arizona's had it pretty good. When you're 19-0 and you're at home and the fans are crazy and you're number one. It's quite the experience. I remember when Cincinnati was in that position, and that was a long time ago in the 90s.
I know obviously Jizzle was going through some stuff off the court. Was there an expectation that he would be back, or was that kind of up in the air and you guys really didn't know what was going to happen with that?
I think they were hopeful that he would be back. I know when it happened in August and the way that they worded it, and a lot of people jumped to the gun and said, dismissed from the team, gone from the team. But the way I read it, it said not currently with the team. And to me, that left a window, and that window was opened in December. And, one game early December, he shows up in the press section when, we're there covering a game. There's Jizzle James. He's wearing a hoodie and a winter coat and everything. But personally, I was really happy to see him. I'm the father of 4 sons. I know young men can make mistakes, and, it's not easy being young, and you do stupid things. I did them myself. So as a parent, I was just happy to see him back, and then to find out that he was back working out and there was a chance that he could come back. And, they got him on the floor. So hopefully he's better mentally, physically, everything else, and seems to be okay. But, he's a specimen. He's an athlete. The son of Edgerrin James is going to be tough in a lot of respects. So we'll see what he does.
What does he do best in your mind?
I think he has a great mid-range game, which is kind of like not really in vogue. A lot of teams, want to just fire up threes, and UC certainly fires up their shares, sometimes misses their share. But Jizzle has a very good, 10-foot jumper that he can make, and when he's on with that, look out, and he can knock down a three every now and then. So he just adds to the mix of what they have. But he's a guy that, if he misses 2 or 3 threes, he's not going to clank another 4 or 5. He's going to work on something else. Whereas some guys are just going to keep firing.
It's your top-ranked Wildcats and the Cincinnati Bearcats tonight at McHale Center. We're giving you your scouting report. It's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. You talked about, obviously, some of the, this is a team that's made up of some veteran guys. Baba Miller is another guy who's come in. Third stop for him, Florida State. Florida Atlantic, giving you that that seasoning that this team needs. What has Wes, though, said, before we get into Baba, what has Wes kind of said about what's been difficult about trying to meld all of this into cohesion?
Well, I think just the fact that they haven't had all the pieces of the puzzle that they thought they would have,
yeah.
And so you've had to do without. They had to play a couple of games without Baba Miller. Kerr's been out. Celestine has missed some, and no Jalen Haynes all season. So it's just trying to get it going. And then, you're in a very tough league, and we're all flipping our rosters around anymore. So the only 2 guys back from last year's team are Jizzle James and Day Thomas. Tyler McKinley was a redshirt last year, medical redshirt. So he's back, another big man that comes in off the bench. But it's not easy. You take guys that were studs at their previous locations, and then you got to get them to all unify and play for as a team. And if you can do that, you're going to win. And if not, you're going to struggle. And they've showed signs of maybe turning it around. And, let's be honest, the heat's on Wes a little bit. I think the big thing with this year's team is they haven't had what they thought they would have all year long out on the practice floor. And so you're trying to mold a bunch of guys that were the top dudes at their previous spots and then get them to play as a team. Here lately, it looks like that sort of worked. But things are a lot different. Sean Abayev started early in the year and now is coming off the bench. How that works long term, I don't know. And the Big 12 is a mystery night in and night out because you just don't know. I think home court advantage is huge for everybody, though.
And what kind of big man is Baba?
Baba is unique. He's seventh leading rebounder in the country, 6'11". He can bring the ball up the floor. He's struggled on threes, but he did hit one the last game. And he's just focused on rebounding quite a bit and has some great moves to the hole. And he's made some NBA-style dunks at times on fast breaks.
And Scott, you got a chance to get out up into the mountains a little bit earlier today. Did you go up to Mount Lemon? Where were you guys doing some sightseeing?
Mount Lemon. Drove all the way up Mount Lemon, and I was in the minority because I didn't know that people bike like crazy up here. It's like a lot of people either have great jobs where they can work from home and bicycle up Mount Lemon every day, or there's just a lot of unemployed folks that bike up Mount Lemon every day, or just health fanatics. But I admire their courage.
Scott, hey, appreciate you taking some time to join us and have enjoy the game here tonight in Tucson.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
That's Scott Springer, the beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer, with your scouting report.
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The Scouting Report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, Factory Direct Mattress, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Nawaka takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Pretzel inbounded to Kriisa. Left of the lane, working its way into the paint. Little jump hook up and good. Boy, Mo loves that shot. Boy, Kriisa, what a start to the game here today. 15 points.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, final hour of our pregame shows. We get you set for the Wildcats and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, be aware, this is the third straight Wednesday that the Wildcats have been on FS1, and FS1 will have a tendency to push the start time. They have slid the start time of this game the last 2 weeks to 7:15. Not saying that they will do that tonight, but it certainly is possible. So just keep your ears out. You might have a little extra time to get down to the arena for tonight's ball game. I don't know. I like last week. Who's playing? Do we know who's playing tonight ahead of the Wildcats on FS1? Joe, well, we'll get to that here coming up because I'm sure the scoreboard will tell us that when we get to that. All right, we're going to have the scoreboard. We didn't really get to it in the last segment, so we'll tell you everything about what's happening around college basketball. Also, who's going to be that UC? I keep wanting to say UC Bearcat, who gets underneath the Wildcat skin tonight. It's your Pest of the Game, brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Can we beat the book tonight? Kelvin's got some making up to do, and it is a 13.5-point line for your Arizona Wildcats tonight. Over-under sitting at 151.5 at BetMGM. And your keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive, who will start tonight for the Wildcats. That is expected to not be any different than it's always been. Starting lineups are brought to you by Rocking K. We also will check in here shortly. We should have the latest right about now. We'll get the final availability report for tonight's game. And as you heard in our interview with Scott Springer, Kerr Kriisa was upgraded to probable on yesterday's availability report. We'll let you know if that has changed if we get the one from today.
It's a crosstown shootout doubleheader.
Would that be USC and UCLA?
Xavier
and
Creighton. So Xavier Cincy is called the crosstown shootout between those two schools. So yeah, it's Xavier Cincy is the FS1 game on before the Bearcats.
No, it can't be Xavier Cincy.
Xavier Creighton is on before the Cincinnati Arizona game. Yeah,
all right, there we go. You're confusing me. I'm like, wait a minute, Cincinnati's here.
Creighton. I said Creighton 3 times.
Yes.
Xavier, Cincinnati. They are rivals. They're both playing tonight on FS1.
Okay. I see now I get what you mean by that. All right. So here's what happened last night in the Big 12 Conference. There were a number of games on the Tuesday schedule this week. We mentioned Iowa State, number 9 in the country now after their 2 losses last week, beat UCF. 87-57 was the final score in that game. Texas Tech goes on the road and knocks off Baylor by 13 points. 92-73 was the final in that game. So the number 12 Red Raiders are 5-1 in conference play. Kansas was without their head coach, Bill Self, who has been ailing. They went to Colorado, though, the 19th ranked Jayhawks, and beat the Buffalo 75-69. So a good win for them as they are now 4-2 and stay with the pack. Oklahoma State falls on the road at TCU 68-65. Both those teams are 2-4 in conference play. And hooray, Kansas State gets their first win of the conference season. And apparently Jerome Tang was dancing up with the student section after the ball game. 81-78.
You got to.
Kansas State beats Utah at home. Both those teams are 1-5.
Like, there's some Arizona fans right now, DK, sitting here saying, like, oh, this Big 12 conference so easy. Like, same with Houston fans the last few years. But, some of these schools are really good basketball teams. It's just going to be so hard to find wins because this conference is just so stacked.
2 games tonight in the Big 12. The one game here. The other game will be down north at Arizona State. In Tempe, the Sun Devils, who are 1-4 with their lone win being over Kansas State, they will play Virginia at home tonight. The Mountaineers will enter with a 3-2 record on the season. Games tonight in the top 25. I don't think we have any finals currently, and there are not a whole lot of games in the top 25 tonight. One game is in progress. Number 22, North Carolina, is leading Notre Dame. About 6 minutes to go in the first half, 26-17. Actually, 2 games in progress. 11th ranked Illinois on top of Maryland, 30-26 at the Assembly Hall. If you weren't with us yesterday, Kylan Boswell is going to be out for a length of time with an injury. Other games tonight, another one in the Big Ten. It is number 7, Nebraska, hosting Washington. The undefeated Cornhuskers are 18-0, 7 straight wins in the Big Ten Conference. One of the surprise teams this year. One of the few remaining unbeaten teams. Nebraska, Arizona, and I believe Miami of Ohio played last night against Kent State. I do think they won that game.
Their first ever 20-0 start. It's the best, the longest they've ever gone undefeated to start a season in the history of their program. That's a good program. So 20-0, Miami of Ohio.
8th ranked Gonzaga is 19-1. They will host Pepperdine tonight. Pepperdine just 1-6. In conference play, and that is your scoreboard.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on this program. You can call us. You can text us to communicate with the show. Cincinnati coming off an upset of number 2 Iowa over the weekend. Let's hear how that sounded on the Iowa radio network.
And now Cincinnati can just dribble out the clock unless Iowa State chooses to foul, and they won't. 79-70 will be the final. Cincinnati defeating Iowa State.
So they'll have a chance tonight, the Bearcats, to upset 2-1 in succession. How about this? We talk a lot about Ken Pom and some of the stats over at Ken Pom, and we've mentioned some of the Ken Pom numbers as it relates to your Arizona Wildcats. And in case you are not maybe familiar with one or two of those Ken Pom stats, let me give you one. According to Ken Pom, the average height of Arizona's regular rotation players is 79.1 inches. What is that? I'm not good with math. That would be 12, 7, 6, 6, what? 6, 6, I don't know. I'll have to roll that back in my head. Anyway, it's the 8th tallest team in the country are the Arizona Wildcats. That's one Ken Palm stat. Here's another one I gave you earlier. Toby Awaka leads the country in offensive rebound percentage at 23.6%. So here's one for Cincinnati. I've never heard of this one. Cincinnati is dead last in Ken Palm in luck. Luck. L-U-C-K. Luck. Have you heard of that one, guys?
Yeah. So it's basically just like a deviation from the norm. So it's how you have fared versus how you're expected to. Kind of like war, right? If you think about it in those terms. So it basically, how you do against teams that you're meant to do against and how the other teams do against your opponents that you've already played. So it's just a bunch of math relative to what should happen and then what did happen to your program. So they've had some really bad luck this year if they're last in the country.
All right, let's hear from Wes Miller on his team being ranked last in luck.
Wes, you guys came into this week or 2 weeks ago ranked last in the country in luck on Ken Palm, just kind of judging how the ball is bouncing against teams this season. Do you feel like you've kind of taken luck out of the equation these past couple games with how you guys have played?
I think we try not to get into any of that kind of stuff. I think we just try to come in the gym and get better every day and stay connected as a group, focus on the things that we can control. And there's so much basketball left. We haven't even gotten there. But, yeah, you felt like, hey, we've had some great stretches and we've done some great things in games and been there. It feels like every single game we've been in position to win. So, if you just stay with it, it's gonna happen.
Kelvin, what would Lute Olson say about his team's luck rating?
I don't remember Coach Olson being a guy that was dealing in luck. So I don't know what that. I don't think Coach would go by that too much.
That's
what is that? I'm interested to know what is Arizona's in luck.
I don't know. I'm trying to find it to see if I can find the list, but I can't seem to come up with the list.
They probably don't have too much luck. I mean, maybe the UConn game where they maybe thought that, but I think all the rest of the game we probably were favored.
Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. Luck. Well, let me go here. All right. So let me just I want to go to the bottom of this so I make sure I'm reading this correctly here. I don't know if it's in any type of order. Let me see. Just give me a second. So Cincinnati's luck is minus. Okay, so they're at the very bottom, minus 130. And Arizona, let's see where Arizona is on this ledger here. Arizona is, looks like they're kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe about 60 or 70 maybe would be where they are. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It's got the other numbers here. They are 120th. So they're 120th in luck out of, how many teams are on this list here? 365. So there you go. They're 125 out of 365. Cincinnati is 363 out of 365.
Coach Olson would have said,
luck.
You make your own luck.
Woo! My head just exploded trying to figure that one out right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the why. Like luck's been around for maybe 15 or 20 years.
Who's the Ken Palm guy? Ken
Pomeroy is his name.
I mean, yeah, but is he he's the actual guy? Can we get him on the show to explain all this?
I'm sure we probably could try. The other guy is what's his name? Daryl Morey was a big one for the Houston, and he was a big one about putting advanced analytics into a lot of the way that teams run stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's something you can look at, but you can't game plan for that. That's just kind of a result of how things work. The way I understand it is Ken Palm's luck rating takes into account recent activity, so it weights your recent 5 games as opposed to the entire season. There's different ways to look at it, but again, that's not necessarily something that you can control. It's more or less how it happens to you, and then how that's quantified.
All right, so the top Division I team or Power 5 team in terms of luck, USC. They are eighth in luck. Merrimack is number one. They are the number one college basketball team in Division I in luck. Merrimack, Liberty, Tulane, Purdue, Fort Wayne, and West Georgia. That's your top 5. Then some schools you actually start to recognize: Kent State, Tennessee State, USC, Stanford, and Wofford round out the luck top 10.
And for all their luck, the Merrimack Warriors are 12-8 on this season.
All right, might Sincere Harris be one of those guys that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today? Let's hear from Sincere on the way he plays the game.
Do what I do for my team. If I got to do the dirty work, then, that's what I got to do. If I got to scrap on the floor with some people, then, that's what I got to do, to help the team win the game. And it just keep playing hard. That's what I do.
He might make a couple plays that might feel like loud mistakes, but he makes 100 great plays every night. And I mean that. You might see a play like the missed dunk, and he won't make that one again, but every once in a while he might make a mistake, but he makes 100 great. He's a winner and he's a competitor. And I think people here have really recognized that. He plays the game the way Bearcats are supposed to.
Sincere Harris out of Canton, Ohio, plays like a bulldog. Canton Bulldogs. Also played at West Virginia. So another one of those in Big 12 conference transfers that has ended up playing for Wes Miller this year at the University of Cincinnati, as he's looked to add some depth and experience to his roster. So Sincere Harris could be that guy. Could be our guy, Kerr Kriisa. Who knows? Might be him. Could be Baba Miller. Could be Jalen Celestine. Could be Day Thomas. Could be Jizzle James. Let's find out who's going to get underneath the Wildcat skin today.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, Kelvin is going first on this one. Kelvin, who do you like? Who's going to be that guy that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today?
Yeah, it's Jizzle James for me, man. I mean, with his ability to play defense, full court, his ability to get in the lane, score, pass the ball, and just all the intangibles, I just think he's a guy that we have to watch for stepping up in this type of game.
Okay, Jizzle James, Mr. J.W. Madden.
I will go with Day Thomas tonight because, again, like we've talked a bit about, smaller guards getting busy with it. And he's a guy, 12 points might not seem like a lot, 3 assists. But, again, if you go back and look at that Iowa State game, he had everything to do with that win going 8 for 18. So you got to watch out for guys who can get their own shots off, get to their own spots. And for me, that's Day Thomas tonight.
I'm going to go with the big man. Mustafa Cham. We saw him last year at, I think it was West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. He was at West Virginia last year. Mustafa Cham. I'm sorry, he was at Central Florida.
You mean UCF, yeah.
Yeah, UCF. That's cool. 7'2", Mustafa Cham. I like those big guys in the middle because, again, I think if you're going to beat Arizona, you got to have somebody that can really take away what Arizona does on the inside. And I don't know if Mustafa Cham is that guy. He's a little bit thin, but he's 7'2". He could give Motiella some problems tonight. If he can really push those guys out, keep them away from the basket, then that might give Cincinnati an opportunity to be that team, to upset number 2 and number 1 in successive games. So I'm going to go with Mustafa Cham, who's on the Kareem Abdul Jr. center watch list. Yeah, I hate watch lists, but he's on it, averaging 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks in Big 12 play. I like those numbers so far for the big man.
That's our Pest of the Game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, 520-848-1290, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We still have 2 more segments to go before we hand you off to Brian Jeffries and Lamont Lovett. It's not football season. Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen at McHale Center for number 1 Arizona and Cincinnati. I got football on the brain talking to Jose Romero there.
Well, the schedule came out today, too. So
yes, it did. Yes, it did. We're going to play a conference game before we're done with all our non-conference games for the first time in a while. I think you had to go back to the early 2000s, the last time the Wildcats didn't play all 3 of their non-conference games in succession to start the season.
Who do they think they are? USC, Notre Dame?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to update your kitchen? Create a spa-inspired bathroom or a backyard oasis? Put the equity in your home to work for you with a home equity line of credit from Hughes. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and enjoy flexible terms and no prepayment penalties. With Hughes Federal Credit Union's one-rate guarantee, there's no switching rates based on your credit score. All our members get our same low rate. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Certain restrictions apply.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Discover Rocking K, a community designed by nature, built for you. Embrace the beauty of the Rincon Mountains' high desert foothills. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park. Bordering Saguaro National Park, Rocking K is conveniently located to our region's major employers and nationally recognized Vail School District. Tour 10 model homes by 4 award-winning builders and discover why more people are calling Rocking K home. LiveRockingK.com. Proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
And shoot there to Burries. 9 on the shot clock. Burries back out to Karchinkov. Squares up for the 3. High up the rim, no good. Pete, the offensive rebound. Laid up and good.
Yeah, beautiful muscle play there by Cole. Pete on the offensive glass, just using that big body to go grab that offensive rebound.
Let's find out if Koa Pete can bounce back and have a big ball game for the Arizona Wildcats tonight. Playing the Cincinnati Bearcats. And they're going to be welcoming back this guy to town tonight.
Kriisa crosses midcourt, hesitates, now drives all the way to the bucket and rolls it in.
He knew Trammell had to back off a little bit, and he used a hesitation dribble.
Out to Larson, pump fake to South, to Kriisa, 3-ball straight away. It is good. Another Lexus of Tucson charity 3.
And Kriisa loves McHale with the fans. I think he loves playing in front of fans anywhere. Opportunity on that back door from Ben Matherin. Beautifully drawn up play, just missed, and a technical foul on Kerr Kriisa.
Wow.
Hey, who snuck that in there?
I don't know. Kerr Kriisa, 3 seasons at the University of Arizona. He was a freshman back in 2021, so that was the year there were no fans in the building at the University of Arizona. Now, that was also the year that he had to sit out the majority of the season because of NCAA violations, sanctions, whatever. Couldn't get cleared, if I remember correctly, what all of that was. But his first full season was the year after that, 21-22. That was Tommy Lloyd's first year here. Played 2 seasons under Tommy Lloyd as the head coach. Or actually, Lloyd's first season was, that was 21-22, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 21-22. So a grand total of Arizona of 76 games here for the University of Arizona did Kerr Kriisa play during his time here. Scored 711 of his career 1,107 points in an Arizona uniform.
Yeah, he didn't get quite as many looks at the rim with Kentucky as he did with Arizona.
No. And he is no longer on the injury or the availability, I should phrase that, the availability report for tonight's game, which just came out about a half an hour ago, bottom of the hour. I think it was at 5:30 our time. The latest availability report came out, and only Jalen Haynes from Cincinnati is on the report. There are no Wildcats. Kerr Kriisa was listed as probable. Our guy who we just spoke with a few minutes ago, Scott Springer, just tweeted out, Kerr Kriisa warms up for the Cincinnati Bearcats. So there is video of Kerr Kriisa back on the floor right now at the University of Arizona. There's video of him. He's got his chatting with a few of the managers and things like that. So good to see Kerr Kriisa back in the building, and it'll be fun to see him out there playing tonight for the Cincinnati Bearcats. In fact, let's hear a little bit from Kerr Kriisa, who, again, was asked, this was back during Big 12 Media Days when he was there as a representative of Cincinnati, if he still likes to talk trash in practice.
I don't really talk in practice. What up, Bruce? Hey, that's my guy from Arizona.
I was gonna see if you remember me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. Somebody has to be. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I don't really talk in practice. During the games, I get really amped up. But yeah.
So I'm glad. Bruce is an he's unforgettable guy. You can't forget Bruce Pascoe. Even Kerr Kriisa remembered Bruce. That was good to see.
It was a great reaction.
Bruce, exactly, like an old friend. And we mentioned it's been a long road for Kerr. He left here. He went to West Virginia, played for Huggy Bear for a year. Then Huggy Bear's whole thing happened, and he left and went to Kentucky, and now he's playing at Cincinnati. But he's been in the Big 12 before, and he knows what it takes to play in this conference.
That the bad days are going to come, there's, Big 12 is just such a competitive, it's the best basketball conference in the nation, and every game and every day is not going to be flowers and sunny and hoo-ha-ha, there's going to be rainy days, and just the way you approach after those rainy days, that you can't put your head down, you can't go away from the team. That's where the team has to even come more together, as a group, so more like that stuff.
So again, 3 years at Arizona, 1 year at Virginia, 1 year at Kentucky, 1 year at Cincinnati. That's 6 seasons that he has played. Now, the first season, he only played 8 games. And the Kentucky year, because of injury, he only played 9 games. So now there's talk, and you heard our guy Scott Springer say that he may potentially be trying to play a 7th season next year. Kerr Kriisa. Would he consider that, and would it be at Cincinnati?
Yeah, for sure. And, you guys are all laughing, but, it's a legitimate chance. There was some truth to it. But, obviously, like I said it earlier in there somewhere, too, that, college basketball is, it's the best thing in the world. You can't compare college basketball to EuroLeague, to NBA, because the community and everything about it is so special. Everybody has their own mascots, schools. Everybody takes pride in what school they went to, and it's just it's the best. It really is. It makes me laugh, smile, because it's a super cool thing, and I feel like I would never want it to end.
You've been in a lot of places. You were at West Virginia. You mentioned you played for Coach Huggins there. You've seen his spirit in that, and he was a Cincinnati guy. Is that part of the attraction to come to Cincinnati?
Yeah, for sure. You always want to be in a school where people care about basketball, and the fans love the school and everything. And I don't think there's a better example than Cincinnati. Super rich history about basketball. People care. All those things combined.
People care about Kerr Kriisa. 7 seasons, guys. Could you see him playing another? Could you see this happening where he could get some type of waiver,
anything
to play a
is
7th
possible
season? He only played 9 games last year, and he only played in 8 games his first year.
I got a more important question for Kelvin. If you're an unk after 3 years, what the hell is Kerr Kriisa, right? After 6 years, granddaddy? Yeah, something like that.
Your grandfather. Yeah, but you know what? I've seen several guys get 7 years, so I would not be surprised, especially since they're counting games, or basically saying, what is it, 30 games for a season? So, when you look at it like that, hey, fair is fair.
So he's played, what has he played? He's played 122 games in his college career so far. So, again, it's possible. It's possible for sure.
I was going to say, what's cool too, man, is hearing him interview, man. I remember I know people couldn't understand me for a long time.
Yeah.
But I could not understand him his first couple of years, man. And hear him talk now, he just sounds like a total different guy. He's definitely embraced college experience.
Yeah, he's going to get this weird Estonian Southern accent because of playing West Virginia, playing down at Kentucky. But yeah, I agree. I think, he's always been a very confident young man. Definitely well-spoken, and, I love the idea that he wants to stay in college as long as he possibly can, DK. Whatever the NCAA clearinghouse and all these lawsuits are going to determine at the end of the day, there are guys like Kerr who want to be there as long as possible just because he loves the game.
And he was so fun. I don't know hardly anybody that has anything negative to say about Kerr Kriisa. He was a fun player to coach. I loved him because, again, he spoke his mind. He said, he's the kind of, because, again, sometimes when we do this job, we just get tired of the cliche answers and all of that kind of thing. But he was one of those kids that would say what he felt.
I do have one negative thing. And we talk about it a lot, and Coach Lloyd talks about it a lot, which is why Koa Pete got a tech, which was pointing at the opponent's bench. Now, if you want to celebrate with your teammates, is fine. And one thing that Kerr Kriisa did consistently was attempt to rile up opponents' fan bases on the road and rile up opponents' benches when they were McHale Center. Like, he always directed Kelvin a lot of his attention, and that might have been because he was young, and now that he's a senior, maybe he doesn't do that anymore. I didn't watch a lot of UK games when he was there. But that's the only negative thing I have to say about Kerr Kriisa was he would build himself up, Kelvin, a lot of times by talking a lot of trash to the opponent's fan bases and their players.
Yeah, and I was going to say this here, and that's, if you watch some of that Euro play over there, man, it's a lot of that.
Didn't he talk trash to Luka Doncic when they played together in a Euro league?
Okay,
yeah, he's got no fear. And that was when he was like 19.
And then I was going to say this, I would want to be 7 years as well if I was in this era of where they were paying at. I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to go home and play in the country over there, the national team and stuff, but he's making a nice little penny and he's getting to stretch it out a little bit.
Oh man, good times for Kerr Kriisa. I still one of my favorite ever things. I mean, I've shot in a lot of good things. I was in TV here for 12 years, but one of my most favorite things I ever shot was the interaction between Kerr Kriisa and Jerry Pollard, one of the referees in the Pac-12, after Kerr got hit in a game in the face and there was no call. And he went back down and literally put his arm around Jerry Pollard. And if you've never seen this video, head on over to our Twitter account, Wildcats1290. I just retweeted it to our Twitter account, where he literally put his arm around Jerry Pollard and tapped him on the nose, like literally tapped him on the nose. You talk about being in a referee's space, but that was the moment. I told people all the time, that was the moment when I knew that this kid, is as bombastic as he was at times, had the respect of the officials, because I don't know too many officials who would have let a player touch them on the face like Kerr Kriisa did to Jerry Pollard that particular night. I believe it was a game against Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. But still one of my all-time favorite things that I've ever shot courtside at McHale Center. Kerr Kriisa touching Jerry Pollard on the nose, giving him a love tap on the nose. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, and it is the number one Wildcats and the Bearcats from Cincinnati coming up in about an hour at McHale Center. We'll keep you abreast on if the game gets slid tonight. Creighton and Xavier, the lead-in game. Sometimes those early games go long and they'll slide, so the nation doesn't miss. You don't want the nation to miss any of the number one team in the country, so we'll push it back an extra 15 minutes tonight as well if we need to. Let's find out who has a chance to beat the book tonight.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right. You can't beat the book unless you bet the book. Arizona tonight, 13.5-point favorite. What do we got here? We got everybody took some losses last time out on Saturday. So DK plus 10, J-Dub plus 8, Kelvin even on the season. So we'll let Kelvin go first tonight at minus 13. Kelvin, Arizona favorite tonight.
Yeah, I definitely got Arizona for the win, but I don't think it'll be by 13. So, yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati in the points.
Ooh, okay. Kelvin does not like that at all. He is taking the Bearcats and the 13.5 points. Mr. J.W. Madden, what say you?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I really have a lot of respect for this Cincinnati team. I think Arizona's going to play inspired basketball in front of the home crowd, but I think it's just going to be just under that as well. So I'll say they win comfortably by 2-3 possessions, but not quite by 12.
J-Dub, Cincinnati plus 13.5 tonight. If you want to get in on this, 520-848-1290. Call us or text us who you like. I'm going to go with U of A at home, minus 13.5. None of these guys, none of these guys played with. Jaden. Did Jaden play maybe 1 year with Kerr?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think any of these guys played with Kerr Kriisa. So there's no animosities or former teammate type relationships in this game at all. So, but I'm going to take U of A minus the 13.5. 151.5. The play has been the over, but it came in under on the road this past weekend at UCF. But games at home tend to lead to a lot of scoring. I think the Wildcats get into the 90s tonight, like they've been getting. So I'm going to go over. JW Madden.
What's the total again?
151.5.
Yeah, man. Cincinnati is the number one defensive team points-wise in the conference, so it's going to be low scoring. They can't win this game unless it's a low-scoring game. So I definitely see a drag-out kind of long possession game. I think both teams don't shoot great. So, yeah, I'll go under as well.
Under, okay. Kelvin.
Yeah, I'm thinking under. I think it's going to be more of a defensive game, the knockdown. One of those fights.
All right, so Kelvin and J-Dub are both taking the Bearcats and the 13.5 points and playing the under. I am going the opposite direction of them. I'm taking U of A laying the 13.5 and taking the over. We'll find out who beats the book tonight on the postgame.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' Cay, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingCay.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
The holidays are over, and right now is the best time to start your home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. New year, new projects at the lowest prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. No appointment necessary, call ahead's welcome, or just stop by any of the 14 area locations.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Johnson, quick feed it, stolen back by Aristode. Throw it down low. Owaka will slam it home.
Great job there by Aristotle. Great anticipation to jump that passing lane, get the steal, and kick it out for Tobe Owaka for the easy two-handed slam.
Arizona, Cincinnati on top at McHale Center. If you're heading down to the game, last chance for you to get in, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Love to hear your thoughts on Arizona basketball, what you want to see tonight from your club. This will be meeting number 6 all time. Arizona has never lost to Cincinnati. 5-0. This will be the first meeting in Tucson. Cincinnati has never played at McHale Center before. The 2 previous times they played here in Arizona, it was up in Cincinnati. Last year, the Wildcats defeated the Bearcats by 5 down in Cincinnati. But you remember that was a game that the Wildcats had as much as an 18-point lead and almost messed it away before holding on. Thanks to our guy Fred Scheib in Jersey, who always listens to the show, who got my math right on that 79 inches. That equates to 6'7". 6'7". So that was the Ken Palm numbers. I could not make. I should have known that because I've done that math before.
Are you sure he's not just trolling you?
12 times 6 is 72 inches, and then so that's 6 feet, and then you add on from there. I don't know why all of a sudden I could not grasp that.
I just remember the one in Phoenix.
Yeah.
In 1996.
Right.
When Cincinnati was top 5 team and Miles Simon hit a 70-footer to tie the game. Yeah, that was a good one.
No, to win the game.
To win the game.
And if I didn't hit 2 points and get an assist, we would have lost as well.
Yeah, what I meant was that game that Kelvin Yvonne won versus top 5
the
Cincinnati.
captain in his performance that night.
No, trust me, we would have won without me. Trust me, but no, man, Miles hit a long shot, man. We jumped on top of him like we won the national championship.
That was after a free throw miss, right? I think there was a miss free.
They missed the shot. Miles grabbed it. Yeah, it was after a miss. Miles grabbed it, took one dribble, and from the free throw line on the opposite end, threw it all the way down.
And that was Coach Olson's 500th victory, DK.
Wow.
Yeah. I was there.
Awesome. That's awesome. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on so Koa Pete, we mentioned, did not necessarily play that well early in the game against UCF. And, of course, Anthony Del Orso also did not necessarily have a good night. Let's hear Tommy Lloyd's thoughts on the Wildcats overcoming 2/8 of his rotation, not maybe playing the way that they have played at times this year.
Went on the road in an environment like this against a team that's 14-2. With Koa, had a couple, a tough foul call early. I thought, you hate to see one of your better players, get, a foul. I mean, the ref called it, so it's a foul. And then, kind of a random kind of hustle rebound foul, the second one. And then, we had a lead. So subbing wise, I was like, I was kind of managing, our lead, with his fouls. And, just felt like, it wasn't worth putting him back in the game while we had a lead, and felt like we were doing okay. Even though they made a little run back at us, we still could absorb that run a little bit and kind of save him and his fouls for the second half. And, it's just not going to be your day every day. And Koa's such a high character guy, He understands this is a team game, and he's going to be great one day, and he may not be his day the next, but he'll bounce back for sure. But credit to our team to absorb that. Delhi missed some wide open shots that he hits, and he played actually a really good floor game. He just didn't make any of his shots, and that's how it goes sometimes. But I felt really good with his minutes out there as well, and so to us to absorb those two guys not having their normal production on the road says some good stuff about our team.
Well, and I think the thing that we've seen from a lot of these guys this season is just the ability to bounce back. It is a different guy. It seems like every single night. That's one of the things I've kind of been harping on, and I think that we'll see both those guys kind of bounce back at home, especially. I think guys will maybe be a little bit more comfortable at home. And like Tommy said, sometimes you get a lead and you don't want to mess with what you got out there, especially if you got a kid that's in foul trouble. It wasn't like they were behind. So I'm sure we'll see the Koa Pete tonight that we have been accustomed to seeing, and I'm sure we'll see a much more comfortable Anthony Del Orso as well this evening tonight as the Wildcats get set to take on Cincinnati. Let's hear from Wes Miller and his team talking about his Bearcats and how one of the things they need to do is put pressure on the rim tonight.
It might sound strange, but we've been working on that mentality since the first day of workouts. I think these guys have heard the term rim pressure probably more than they'd like to ever hear it again. But we're starting to kind of figure out how to do that. I thought transition was important. Again, when our defense gets live ball stops, our transition game gets real. And we actually missed a couple good looks in transition. It could have been an even better number. I thought our cutting off the ball tonight was huge. I mean, think about Sincere's last basket of the game, right? He made a great cut. He's playing down on the baseline behind their defense and gets a layup, a big layup late in the game. But we had a lot of sacrificial cuts tonight away from the ball, or runs in transition away from the ball that give guys opportunities to go make plays. And that doesn't always show up on a stat sheet, but I think that has a lot to do with getting more aggressive downhill.
Guys, what's going to be important about stopping a team that wants to put rim pressure on you?
Well, I mean, one, if they get downhill on you, that's how they get those easy rebound putbacks, and they're real good at rebound putbacks, and that's one of my keys to the game. We'll talk about that. But they really crash the board with their center and their forwards, and the only way you could do that is getting rim pressure and getting shots around the rim. And also, I think they understand you got to get to the free throw line if you want to beat Arizona. Arizona usually doubles people up at the line, and I'm sure they want to match that.
Yeah, I think the key to this, DK, is discipline. It's just quite simply following the game plan, being disciplined in your one-on-one defense, and then being aware of when you need to come over and help. Because, rim pressure usually takes the form of drives and or, like Kelvin said, offensive rebounds or any kind of paint touches. So they're trying to do the exact same thing Arizona's doing, which is trying to get defenders to challenge a lot of those shots early at the rim, as opposed to settling for 23-footers in which there is no rim pressure whatsoever. So you just got to be disciplined, move your feet, stay in front of drivers, and make sure that you help your teammates and your brother next to you anytime they might get beat.
All right, let's continue finding out what we think the Wildcats need to do to win this game tonight.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, we'll go right back to Calvin Efon since he had mentioned one of his keys to the game being on that defensive side. Calvin, go for it.
Yeah, I think we have to have all five guys crashing. Brandon Berries has done a great job. We all know Jaden Bradley is a guy that can rebound as well. We need all five of those guys crashing because I think, again, if the guards can get the ball in their hands, we can get into some fast breaks. And also we have to keep their bigs off the board. So having all five guys rebound will really help with that. We got to really play Day Thomas and Jalen Celestine to shoot, man. They shot 10 threes the last game. 20 threes combined last game, making 7. So we have to be there on the catch, man, and discourage those guys from getting those catch-and-shoot threes and make them put it on the floor. And the other one, you have to be very strong with the ball. They're very handsy. They'll get in the passing lane. They'll steal the ball from the on-ball dribbler. So I just think we have to be real smart and strong with the ball and with our passes.
All right, I think pace is going to be important tonight. I talked about it kind of just in my pick there for Beat the Book, and I think the Wildcats, when they win comfortably, it's when they can get into the 90s. So establish the pace is going to be important. This is going to be another game kind of like Saturday, I think, where the Bearcats are going to want to try to slow this thing down and keep the scoring low. So get your pace going, get to your 90 points. I think if Wildcats get to that, they're going to win, and they're going to cover that number as well tonight. I'd like to also see back to balance. I mean, we've seen that. 7 guys have scored over 20 points at any time this season, but I think we've kind of gotten into lately. It's been a couple guys in each of these games, and that's kind of been one of my main takeaways. Has been some nights it's it was Braden and Kriisa have kind of been in a tandem there. It might be Koa and Jaden, but I think I'd like to see the team get back to balance. So let's get back to maybe 5 guys in double figures in this game tonight, and pace I think will play a lot into that as well. And I told you my pest was going to be Mustafa Cham. Attack Cham. I think if you attack him in the middle and neutralize him, that's the best way for him not to be a pest. If you can attack him, get him in some early foul trouble, maybe get him out of the game, and so you don't have that imposing 7-2 presence standing in the middle of that defense for them, it's going to make life a whole lot easier for you to, one, establish that pace, that balance, and get back to that 90 points I want to see. So pace, balance, and attack Cham to win tonight.
For me, the number one key, guys, is to win the possession battle. And you might think possession, that's a football thing, time of possession. No. The last big game that Cincinnati played versus Iowa State, they shot 18 more field goals than Iowa State did. That's the reason that they won that game. They kept their turnovers down. So you got to make sure that you get your offensive rebound game going and limit your turnovers. You're going to want to see at least 5 to 10 more field goal attempts by Arizona than Cincinnati tonight. Big production from the wings tonight. We always talk about the bigs. Deli, Karchenkov, and Aristotle. I'd like to see those guys step up, have a big game. There's going to be a lot of attention, obviously, on the front line. 25 points, 10 rebounds, something like 5 steals from those guys would be good. And then, obviously, dominate the glass as usual. I think Tobe and Mo have been doing their thing. I'd like to see Koa Pete get more involved. We talk about the wings all the time. Koa is obviously capable of getting his 12, 14 boards himself. So something like 30, maybe 35 from those 3 guys will probably do it tonight versus the Bearcats.
That's what we think Arizona needs to do to beat Cincinnati.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different. The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Jaden Bradley at one guard, 6'3", senior out of Rochester, New York, averaging 14 points and 5 assists per contest. Braden Burries at a guard spot, 6'4", freshman out of San Bernardino. Braden, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 15 points in Big 12 play. The man in the middle, 7'2", out of Chile, Lithuania, Motiejas Krivas, 11 points and 8 rebounds on the season. One forward, you've got Ivan Karchenkov, 6'7", out of Munich, Germany, 9 points and 3 rebounds per contest. And at the other forward, out of Chandler, Arizona, 6'8", Koa Pete, averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds per game. That's going to wrap it up for us. For Kelvin, for JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. Coming up next, number 1 Arizona and Cincinnati. Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen have the call. We'll talk to you after the game. Bear down, Arizona.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy. Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing,
a Neighborly company.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Now that's what I call savings. Truck buyers, this one's for you. Get up to $7,500 off a new 2026 Chevy Silverado and up to $4,500 off a 2025 Chevy Colorado. Two tough trucks, one place to save. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Call us at 747-8000, see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Blocked by Aristode, who grabs the ball out of the air, weaves his way up to Burries the other way. Burries drives, jumping up and scoring. When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball. A walk to the offensive rebound, knocked away, gets it back, lay it up, good, and he's fouled.
It's a man's game, and Tobey Walker is a grown man.
This is University of Arizona Wildcat basketball, and this is the Hughes Federal Credit Union Countdown to Tip-Off show. Rebound Kriisa for the Wildcats. Lead pass down to Pete. Pete lost the defense. The bucket! Hammer it home! Stay tuned for a complete preview of today's game, including a look at the Cats' opponent, scores from games around the country, and the pregame thoughts of head coach Tommy Lloyd. Countdown to Tip-Off is brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Visit hughesfcu.org/Wildcats to learn why Arizona fans choose Hughes. Now, Arizona Sports Enterprises is proud to present Wildcat Basketball. The Wildcats' two-game homestand gets started tonight at McHale Center as the Cats entertain the Cincinnati Bearcats. Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to Pop McHale's house, where the top-ranked Wildcats look to remain unbeaten against the upset-minded Bearcats. Arizona begins play tonight with a perfect 18-0 record. Cincinnati is 10-8. The schedule continues to get tougher and the games more intense as we get closer to March Madness. And while the big picture is of interest, U of A coach Tommy Lloyd continues to preach one game at a time. There are too many compelling matchups to look beyond the next one. Tonight, a good example. After winning 6 of 8 games to open the season, Cincinnati lost 6 of the next 8. Then last week at home, the Bearcats beat Colorado and second-ranked Iowa State. U of A won both games last week, but neither was easy. Arizona pulled away from ASU to beat the Sun Devils by 7 points, then won a physical battle in Orlando down in UCF 84-77. Expect more of the same tonight against an opponent that plays tight defense and forces nearly 15 turnovers a game. Wildcats versus Bearcats. Who tames who is ahead from Arizona Sports Enterprises.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?